All right, today we're going to dig into some of the most powerful financial wisdom you'll ever find. And we're not talking about some new, trendy strategy. We're going back thousands of years to ancient Babylon. This place was one of the wealthiest cities in all of history. And we're about to uncover the simple, kind of mind-blowing secrets that built all that fortune. And the crazy part is, they work just as well today as they did back then. So let's start with a big question. One that feels so incredibly modern, doesn't it? You work hard, maybe harder than anyone you know. You earn a decent living, but then you look up at the end of the month and there's just nothing left. Well, this exact same question was being asked thousands of years ago by a guy named Bansir. He was a master chariot builder in Babylon, and he was totally fed up that his purse was always empty, even though he never stopped working. And what's absolutely amazing is that the answer to this problem, it's not in some complicated new app or a risky investment. Nope. The answer is found in the simple, powerful wisdom of the ancient Babylonians. They actually figured out a system, a set of principles that literally anyone could follow to build real, lasting wealth. And this, right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the problem that Bansir and his buddy Kobe were facing. They were skilled craftsmen, they were always busy, they were definitely earning money. But they just weren't keeping any of it. And that led them to this huge realization that so many of us have to make. A full schedule does not equal a full wallet. You know, earning money and actually keeping it are two completely different skills. The Babylonians had this really simple, perfect term for that state of always struggling. They called it a lean purse. You know that feeling, right? Where money just seems to vanish, slipping right through your fingers. Curing this lean purse is the absolute first step you have to take on the path to financial freedom. It's the whole reason we're here. So Bansir, totally frustrated, goes to seek advice from the one person he knew had it all figured out, Arkad, the richest man in all of Babylon. And get this, Arkad wasn't born rich. He didn't inherit it. He started with absolutely nothing. And he agreed to share the one single foundational secret that his entire fortune was built on. Now, what's so cool about this story is that Arkad didn't have some complex secret formula or 100 different tricks up his sleeve. He told them, point blank, that all of his success, every bit of his incredible wealth, came from one simple, non-negotiable principle that he followed from the very first day he earned a coin. Just one idea, and it changed everything for him. And here it is, 10%. That's it. That was Arkad's secret. He decided that a tenth of everything he brought in, he kept for himself. Not for the guy selling bread, not for the landlord, but for his own future. This was the first, most important bill he paid out of every single payment he ever received. It was non-negotiable. This quote, this is the big aha moment. Just let that sink in for a second. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. We think we're keeping our paycheck, but are we really? Or do we immediately turn around and pay it all out to everyone else? This simple idea of paying yourself first, well, it completely changes your relationship with money forever. You have to realize that you are your own most important creditor. Okay, so once that first huge principle clicks into place, the next logical question is, well, how do you actually do it? And Arkad didn't just leave them with a concept. He gave them a whole blueprint, a step-by-step plan he called the 7 Cures for a Lean Purse, designed to build wealth that lasts. And here they are, the 7 cures. Now, every single one is important, but it's really the first 3 that act like the engine that gets the whole thing started. First, you save that 10% to actually build some capital. Second, you have to control your spending to protect that capital. And third, you make your gold multiply. You put that capital to work for you. These 3 steps are the foundation for everything else that follows. Now, that third cure, making your gold multiply, this is where it gets really fun. Once you start saving and you've got this little pot of gold that's starting to grow, you need to understand the rules that money plays by. So, to explain that, Arkad laid out 5 timeless laws of gold. Think of this as the owner's manual for growing your money and, just as importantly, for keeping it safe. These 5 laws are just pure, distilled financial wisdom. They all kind of boil down to one simple idea. Wealth is attracted to people who are diligent and wise. It grows for those who invest it carefully, with people who know what they're doing. But it runs away from people who chase those get-rich-quick schemes or trust their own inexperience on a risky bet. And this slide just shows that difference so clearly. You have the wise owner who puts their money to work in things they actually understand, and they let it grow patiently.
Then you have the unwise owner, who gets tempted by a friend's can't-miss tip about some scheme they know nothing about, and that right there is how money disappears.
Now, if there's one thing Babylon was famous for, it was its walls. They were massive, impenetrable, they protected everything and everyone inside. And this incredible book uses that powerful metaphor to teach a lesson about our own finances that you can't afford to ignore. Protection is just as important as growth.
And this is the key idea. Your savings, that pot of gold you're building, that is your financial wall. It's not just sitting there doing nothing. It's an active defense. It's what protects you from the unexpected disasters that life throws at all of us. A sudden job loss, a medical emergency. Seriously, without these walls, one bad break can wipe out everything you've ever worked for. And just to prove that this isn't some fairy tale, the book tells the incredible story of a man named Davasir, who had fallen so far he was actually a debt slave. I mean, his situation seemed completely hopeless. But by applying these exact principles, living on 70% of what he made, using 20% to pay his debts, and saving that crucial 10% for himself, he systematically climbed his way out of that hole and into freedom and wealth. It just proves this system works for anyone. So let's just boil it all down. The core pillars of this ancient wisdom are so simple, but they are so profound. Number 1, always, always pay yourself first. Number 2, make that money you save your employee. Put it to work earning more money. 3, guard your wealth like it's a fortress. And finally, invest with wisdom and patience, never ever with greed. And if there is only one single message that you take away from this entire thing, please let it be this. Building wealth is not about luck. It's not about winning the lottery or getting some secret stock tip. It is a skill. It's a system of simple, repeatable habits that absolutely anyone, starting from anywhere, can learn and use to build a prosperous life. The principles have stood the test of time, and the path is laid out for you. A great financial fortress isn't built in a day. It's built consistently, one single brick at a time. So the only question left is the one for you. What is the first brick that you are going to lay today? Thanks for tuning in.